This is a Finnish company called Orion, kind of a weird drug company. I like these foreign companies. The weird thing about foreign companies is usually their filings are a little off. They're not like American filings. Other than that, same analysis. 𝗕𝗲𝗅𝗏𝗔𝗟 generic. Wow, good for them. It's been a long time for that drug. AbbVie is going to host their Q3 call, so Q3 earnings season's coming. Alexander disease, very, very rare disease. HER2, Merck announcing earnings day. Oh, stop, BioNTech AI, Teva earnings day. And there's the new schizophrenia drug, 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗏. A lot of people are excited that this could be one of the biggest drugs ever. Yeah, we have UCB. Canada, I don't really look at, but I just have to look at it because we have Canadian data now. There's 3 binary events happening real soon. If we get all 3, we'll be in great shape. SLS, Humacyte, and SAVA. Haven't looked at Bluebird in a really long time. What a fall from grace. That was the hottest company for a while, and then just cheap pharmaceutical play. You sound like you're new to investing. Yeah, maybe we should look at filament A research. What do you think? Would that be funny? You do have to deal with investors occasionally, depending on how much they own and stuff like that. No, I don't think anybody cares about CMT certificate. Yeah, we got to look at Ultragenyx pretty bad. Yeah, you think SAVA's going to come out this month? Why do you think that? What does the Discord know? If they knew anything, they wouldn't be in the stock in the first place. Vertex is a type 1 drug. First non-muscle actin binding protein. 3 isoforms. I should write this down. Oh, you know what? I should call these researchers about filament. Howard Hughes Medical Institute, Harvard Medical School. Let's see if dude is still there. Feng is still there, or where'd Feng go? Feng went okay, yeah. Health Sciences University, and some filament experts. Oh, great. Just what I want, Stinky Kitty. I didn't nobody like you. 90 binding partners to filament A. Okay, there's something there. Cassava says that their fake drug works by binding filament A, or actually helping refold filament A, which is even crazier. It's like and they determine that by the isoelectric point, which is not really a standardized assay for determining refolding. Yeah, I mean, look, all the work's important. You know, I was actually offering to fund an SPR study for 𝗪𝗡 because I thought that would be a really good binding assay. NMR is to do NMR well is very difficult. There is a little bit of overlap in chemistry and biology. Let's look at Charles River Labs. This is a weird company. They make lab animals. That's right. They make lab animals. They're actually, I would call them life sciences, right? Yeah, we're working on Bloomberg level functionality every day. I'm sick of Bloomberg. They won't even let me be a customer. So I said, you know what? I can make exactly the same system. In fact, I can make a better system because I am an active investor, whereas I don't think they employ any. So Charles River has basically been flat for 4 years. Let's go back even further. I was going to write all my picks in here, but in the date I gave them. This was a good one. Amylyx is at 325. That was a good short. PayPal has been a bit of a dog. Meta was my biggest win. There was Liquidia. Intilia has been my biggest dog. I think it's just been Immunogen got bought out, right? And those are the dates. There's all those videos are archived. Other than 2020, I think Charles River has been a pretty good stock over the years. This is going way back. Was this the IPO, 2001? That sounds about right. Yeah, Huma, still a short. All right, so we'll look at Charles River. It's been a steady winner since their IPO 20 years ago. Pretty well-run company, I think. Leader in lab animals. Maybe they've diversified a little bit from lab animal models. 51 million shares outstanding. 10 billion cap. Okay, $1 billion of revenue a quarter. Not growing. Not growing, pretty ugly. It's grow or die. And you look like you're dying. I've been playing poker with this guy, Bobby Bags. They call him Bobby Baguette. They call him Big Bobby. He sits down at the table. I said, Hey, Bobby Beggs, what's going on? So relatively low margin. Gross margin, at least, is relatively low. Decent operating margins. It's funny they don't break out R&D, but I mean, they certainly have to do some kind of product development. Yeah, you can buy stock even if the CEO sells its shares. CEOs sometimes have a financial commitments and things that they need to do. It doesn't mean that they're not working hard at running the company. 10x leverage is a lot. You know, 10x drawdown would wipe you out. So 10% drawdown is all it takes for you to lose everything. So I don't know if that's a good idea. Even a 1.5 times leverage, which is very low leverage, is risky. Now, offshore is typically where most, I mean, one, yes, there's no SEC, which would be a requirement for me. But the nice thing about offshore is that's where most hedge fund money is anyway. So all these funds that you hear about, like Citadel, whatever, all their investors are offshore. And they're either offshore or they're tax exempt, and they can invest in the offshore vehicle, which is tax-free. If they invest domestically, you have capital gains tax, which is really messy. Nobody wants to pay that pesky capital gains. Only us plebs have to pay capital gains. Yeah, so Charles River has a lot of facilities, 1.6 billion in PP&E. I've paid a lot of cap gains in my life, yeah. I'm not a walking hedge fund, so yes. The only hedge fund that really paid a ton of capital gains is Renaissance. Kramer's fund also had very little offshore investors. Kramer never really wanted to build a big fund. He was like very old school. But almost all the hedge funds moved to the offshore stuff. That's where all the investors are. Big endowments, pension plans, foreign investors. The Swiss love hedge funds. I don't know any short funds. All right, so around 2 billion in debt, so not too leveraged up. A little bit. Nothing too crazy. It's a little leveraged. It's nothing too crazy though. It's at the limit, I would say, of where I consider it super leveraged. Cap gains on the Puerto Rico thing is a little, I know there are people that do it. It's just not for me. You got to live there 6 months of the year. I wouldn't mind, if I had a huge cap gains tax, I wouldn't mind moving there, selling. I don't know if it works that way though. If I have like a $50 million cap gains liability, I move to Puerto Rico and I sell while I live there. I'll live there for a year. I don't know, 50 mil. It's this deal. It's a 6-month thing where you have to live there for 6 months. It's not that new. It's about 10 years. No, I don't think I mentioned that, but I know that happens. You have to pay your import tax. You don't need to give up citizenship. Nope. You're dual citizen or whatever. It's some other kind of status. I did think about moving to Switzerland permanently, but oh wow, they really, something up with this. No, okay, I'm just looking at the wrong thing. False alarm. Well, for 6 months they made 323 cash flow from operations. Let's see, they had a bunch of capex, I would imagine. Yeah, ton of capex. They really are a brick and mortar business. So only 200 million cash flow for the first half of the year, free cash flow. I'm not a skier or a mountain guy. I don't like the cold. Maybe Miami. Just seems so unserious, Miami, you know? Hang out with the Founders Fund guys every day. Yeah, working capital is just WC to me. But no, we do point it out. It's just that I had a whole discussion about this, what they call Buffett return, which is his definitions of working capital. For a lot of these companies, it doesn't matter, but occasionally it comes up. But for software and biopharma, there's no real relevance. They don't hold inventory. They don't have huge working capital changes. They sometimes have huge working capital changes, actually, but you know, it's not something that really is predictable or has any real rhyme or reason. If accounts receivable start ballooning on a company, obviously that's something we try to pay attention to with day sales outstanding or whatever. But yeah, for most software companies, it's salary, yeah. Sales and marketing, general administrative. wars. I hope there's no war in the Middle East, man. Things starting to get a little spicy out there. Leading supplier of non-human primates, located in Mauritius. You guys know where that is? Mauritius is to the east of Madagascar? Well, that's cool that they bought a company out there. 90 million bucks? I mean, that's awesome. Looks like the total amount was 400 million. 𝗕𝗏𝗡 Group. I guess if you're in Africa, why not? Sell some chimps. That's where they go, where they are. Go to the jungle, get some chimps. Hey guys, we got some drug companies that want to Mauritius. We got some pharma companies that want to chill with you. Chimp is looking at you like. But if you had the if you got that grape drink, the lab animal grape drink or fruit drink, they love that. We do the non-human primate grape drink, they're like, yeah, it's the purple stuff basically. They love it. You got to see, these lab animals are adorable. We're looking at a stock called Charles River Labs right now. Try to pay attention, lock in, focus a little bit. It's not hard. Charles River Laboratories, 10 billion market cap. Revenue is not growing. That is a problem. I don't care if you have ADHD. Okay, what's RMS? This is their business line. RMS and then DSA. RMS is research models and services. So here they sell research models, and DSA is discovery services and safety assessment. So I guess the... Oh, what's up, kitty? You sneeze too? My cat sneezed too. Oh no, we got cold, kitty. We got a cold. Oh, we got a cold, kitty. Let's not try to focus on today or tomorrow's stock prices. We can't control that, right? What we can control is doing deep research on lots of stocks, and maybe one or two will come to the surface that we can buy or short. But if we focus too much on what's happening today, or what something like that, it's not gonna do us well. If you're trading options, you might as well forget. Yeah, you might as well forget what I do. Don't even worry about it. Trading options or day trading, just go somewhere else. I can't help you. My software might be able to help you, but maybe I'll start trading a little more actively. But I'm a long-term investor. That's what I'm good at. If I start trading left and right, you're just going to see me lose money, which I don't mind. It could be entertaining, but if you think you could out-trade the quants, God bless you, try it. Some people can. Maybe I can help you lose less money or make a little bit more. But day trading's hard. I prefer to do some heavy-duty research, control my own destiny. Yeah, I don't really need to do options. I'm happy to do equity. I've been following 𝗬𝗏 for 20 years. The 𝗪𝗪𝗔𝗏 saga for me was always interesting because I always thought this was an old drug. It should go generic at some point. And, Martine has fought tooth and nail to stop generics. But, I'm the one who got banned from pharma. But not that I care, but she did a tremendous job of stopping generics from entering on all her products. And I think as a capitalist, she's allowed to do that. I would expect that as a stockholder. I would expect that as a business person. I think it's good for society when capitalists are vigorous agents for their shareholders. Yeah, same SEC laws would apply. Yeah, they're handling the liquidity situation just fine. I don't think liquidity is going to torpedo them, but I told them to merge with 𝗪𝗏𝗏 years ago because eventually you focus the whole company on one molecule, one old molecule. The hell, how is that going to work? That's never worked in the history of drug companies. Eventually, all your products go generic. You make a drug device combo. Okay, that's innovative, that's neat, but what else? What's next? The main avenue of success in pharma is diversification and growing internationally and stuff like that. And they've just kind of been a very odd company. Yeah, well, the organ stuff is very, I'm very dubious. It's kind of it's a lark. That's not even biopharma, right? And people look at that. I mean, it's biopharma, but people look at that and say, Are you trying to be a drug company? You're trying to be a science project? Or what are you trying to do? So Charles Rivers, no growth. That's 2 quarters in a row. Now let's look at a 10K. So Charles River was founded in 1947. Charles River's in what, Mass, right? IPO 2000, which we discussed earlier. New York Stock Exchange. Headquarters, Wilmington, Mass. Leading non-clinical global drug development partner. Legacy competency, core competency on lab animals. In vivo biology is our core competency. Client base is major pharma, biotech, ag, CROs, hospitals, 140 different rodents. I think investing can be a zero-sum game. So they got 140 rodents. That's the main product. The rats. 𝗠𝗤𝗏𝗏. Yeah, that S&P bounce makes sense to me. Oh, cassava dropping, bruh. Hope you don't lose your life savings, dog. You know what? Actually, I do. You deserve it. I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Okay, so it's interesting. The lab models, lab animals are only 19% of revenue now. They've diversified, I think. But I get the sense that tox is what they do most of. And let's see, manufacturing, 17%. Mostly rats and mice. Purebred. The Charles River C7 mouse. They got a whole mouse brochure. You go in there, I'm shopping for some mice, man. Let me see these mice. Give me a whole brochure of these mice, please. I'll take 10 of him. Where's obesity mouse? Oh, I need this dark one right here. He's nice. I'm gonna give these to Nibbles. Now, where's my obesity mouse? A nice fat mouse. Oh, I need him, the nude. Oh, this guy's cute. Squeak, squeak. Nibbles food. You can do whatever you want with them once you get them. Where's my fatty? They got a fat one. That's like I think these are the normies. Now I want the fat ones. One of these. Is this the fat one? No, that's C57. That's normie. This is him. This is him right here. The Zucker. The Long Evans. This guy got a whole snout. The Wistar. Oh yeah. Classic Wistar. You need the same mouse. It's a hypertensive mouse. No. America's curing type 1 diabetes. America started that a long time ago. A company called Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Pride of Boston. China's just copying us. Probably some spies or something. Yes, last year revenue grew 4% over 2022. This year looks like its revenues might decline a little bit. Pretty ugly. Somewhat low margin, somewhat capital intensive. It's not a horrible business. It's just a little dry, a little dull. The revenue grew the year before though, decently, 12%, pretty solid. Play guitar someday. Okay, so operating, hold on. Operating income, I don't get the valuation. All right, so 12.3 billion enterprise value, 700 operating income. So we're talking about 18 times operating income for a no grower. Man, just a good maybe core short just to, if you need some beta. This thing ain't gonna hurt you. Some short exposure. But you'd also need to pair it with a low beta long. You can't hedge with low beta unless you got low beta on the other side. So you got a low beta long, I don't know, like, what's a low beta long? Any drug company, this would be a good, that you believe in, this would be a good short against that drug company. Net income, pretty low.
low, $500 million to like 600 mil. Get some AI animals or something. Put some AI in those lab animals. Infuse it with AI. I think you should consider your portfolio. Well, the gross margins, nevertheless, are decent for what they do. They're decent gross margins. I have to admit that. But valuation just isn't. Let's look at the cash flow characteristics real quick. Cash flow operations are very similar to operating income. Cash flow from operations in the 600 to 700 range for the last few years. CapEx in the 200 to 300 million range. So you talk about free cash flow, very low. Hold on, what am I doing here? 683. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would pay 20 times for no growth. Miss me with that.